Okay, in the last film we talked about the idea of making these forms which we can use a mail to command that we put into the action of the form. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, what we're now going to do is look at a slightly different type of some extra features in forms. And also we're going to give you an idea of how you can make a fantastic sort of evaluation section for your project. So I'm going to do it about, I've just enjoy your day. I'm going to create like a bit of a questionnaire about whether or not you had a fun day at Chavzu. But you could apply these principles to making an evaluation form, and then we're going to fire the data off once more via email. I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. So I'm going to tell us about your day. I'm going to insert a form here. So I've got my little red bit there, and I'm going to then insert, I'm going to pop a little table in here. I'm going to do 10 rows, I've done this before as you can see. I'm going to pop the table, it's 10 rows, 1 column, 400 pixels. I get something like that. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to make some statements. So for the website, oh no, I'm talking about, so I'm talking about the day. The day was really fun. You might want to put in here, if you're doing evaluation, the website's really easy to navigate, or the website has lots of fantastic pictures. And what we're going to do is we're going to use something called a Likert scale, named after a man called Frederick Likert, an American professor who came up with this idea and got it named after him. Now you might, on forms it says like I think this website is fantastic, strongly agree, no opinion, disagree, strongly disagree. You can kind of measure people's opinions, and that's what we're going to do. We're now going to actually put in some measures of people's opinions. So the day was really fun, and we need to pop in strongly agree. So we'll do it like this. I'm going to insert, I'm going to use some what they call radio buttons, like little circles, and you think it's going to be there, but no. Let's move on to radio group, and we're going to come in here and I'm going to put label, and I'm going to put here strongly agree, and then I'm going to put agree. I'm going to add a couple more. I need 3 more, so I'll pop those in, and we'll have let's have no opinion. That's what I'm looking for. Disagree, and then I'm going to put a strongly disagree. The day out was rubbish. There we go. Now I have these things here that say value. Now what this means is that if you select strongly agree, it's going to fire off the value. So I'm going to put in here, I'm going to put SA, and then for radio here I'm going to put A, and for no opinion, if it comes back I'll put NO. And my cursor keeps disappearing. I'm going to put a D there, and strongly disagree, I'm going to put SD. And I'm going to lay this out using, you can do line breaks, so I'm just going to use a little table. And radio group 1, that's kind of cool. I'm going to press OK. And what I get is something that looks like this. The day was really fun, strongly agree, no opinion, disagree, strongly disagree. And then what I suggest you do is leave a line. Again, don't worry about the red line here. You think, oh, the form is going up. No, it's not going outside the form, it just doesn't expand that red line down. So the day was really fun. The animals drank too much lager. Now logic would say just copy and paste this table, so I'm going to do that and paste that down there. The problem I have is the following. If I go into, let's highlight this one in particular, if I go into the code, can you see how this is radio group 1, and what happens is all radio group 1. That kind of makes sense. That's basically saying, oh, right one, let's go to design even. This group here that I've got highlighted is radio group 1. So really I want this group to be called radio group 2. The problem I have is if I come down here and go to the code, because I copied and pasted it, it's radio group 1 there, and of course it's radio group 1 up there. So what I'm going to do, just to speed things up, is I'm just going to manually change those all to radio group 2. And we'll do that. Let's go through that one more time. All you've got to do is, I always tend to leave a line between the two. And another question about Chavzu. The people were really friendly. And let's take that one, which I'm going to Control C, and I'm going to Control V, and the smart ones amongst you realise, hold on a moment, that's all Radio Group 2, we must rename these, and of course we must do, because if you're not sure which bit you're on, little top tip in design, let's scroll up. If you highlight it like that, because that needs to be Radio Group 3, and then you go into the code, it highlights that section of code for you as well, so you know you're on the right bit. And of course what I know is all these 2's need to become 3's, and we go like this, and this is fantastic. And I'm going to put that like that. And let's go back to design. We've got that. Again, you can have some more questions if you want, but I'm going to have a little submit button. Handy, that red line's moved as well, which is nice. So I'm going to put my little submit button. So I'm going to insert form, and we're going to submit on the button. There it is. But of course, we need to tell the computer when someone fills this form in, okay, please submit it to an email address. I would actually, thinking about it logically, I would probably, if I just table and insert a row here, I should have done this at the beginning really, and let's do that again. Let me grab 2 for the price of 1. Let's insert some rows. Oh no, I'll do 1 at a time by the looks of it, that's annoying. But what you really should have done is sort of, I pressed Control by mistake. That's an interesting one. Don't know what I did there. Must have been Control Q, I think it must have been open the new document. That's a new one on me. Anyway, I would have put, no, it was Control N, of course. I'm talking about Control Q because I was typing name. Anyway, Control. I would have. I'll keep going on tonight. Insert form, and you put your text field. So if you wanted someone's opinions, tell us about your day. You get their name, and you get them to answer this. Probably want their email address. Good idea from a business point of view, just like we did in the previous one. But when someone submits by pressing that button, it needs to be fired off to an email address. So what we do is in our code, we go, we're right at the bottom of it, we find all the way up, and we go all the way up, and we scroll, there he is, and we find action, and we put mail to, and I'll just put DJP at Hotmail. No, I'm not DJP at hotmail.com, so yes, you can, if you want to email him, or her, up to you, I'm not going to get it. So yeah, mail to. And I want to show you actually what happens. When you actually send this stuff off, here's an example. If I just quickly go here, I'll go back for a moment. I've got one of my students, hopefully it's going to come back. Oh, inbox there. Wow, how fantastic. I got one of my students to send me this one. There we go. And you get this, it's called postdata.att. And if I click on it and open, what you get sent to your email is something like this. And what this is basically saying text field 1, that's the name, David, and she had a text field 2 in there. She's asked for the email address. If we go back to Dreamweaver, let's go to design. The student there had a name box where they typed in David. The second box had email, and they typed in the email address. And then if we go back to here, you can see it says here, Radio Group 1 equals SA, strongly agree the value. Radio Group 2 equals NO, no opinion. Radio Group 3 equals A, agree. Radio Group 4 equals D. I think that must be disagree, isn't it? So that's what happens when you actually create the website. You basically fill this stuff in, and then because you've got these radio groups, whatever they select here, it fires up the value. So if you put no opinion there and you were to select that, even though I'm not doing it on the code, what it does is it throws NO. As we can see here, it was throwing a D here, an A here, and NO there. Obviously I use capitals, she used lowercase. It makes no difference, but at least this method does in fact give you something that actually works. It's crude, it's clumsy, and it's not as good as a PHP linked to an SQL database or ASP linked to an Access database, but it does actually work, all because you group things up and you run this mail to. It's only going to work if your school's using Outlook, but it's the best you really can do for an OCR Nationals course. I hope that's made sense. I think it should do. If you want to quickly go back through the video again, it'll probably help you out, but ultimately it's more than enough than you need for the OCR Nationals course. Anyway, good luck.